Hello, hello. Today I'm going to be talking about my worries. I'm going to order them. Maybe I will record them, or maybe I will just leave the stream up. Depends on. Yeah, depends on how it goes, I guess. Yo, how's it going? Was it a nice weekend? Well, a nice Saturday. Okay, first I'm going to find the tweet. Universe. No, it was a reply. Yeah, but I didn't do anything on Friday, so I should still do some work for Monday. But I don't want to. I relate. Okay, this levels tweet was the tweet that I wanted to have. What video is this? Okay, that's the real things video. So, first I'm going to read my comment on that real things video. So, the importance of real things. I have a comment here. Yes. First thing that I wanted to talk about. This video is called The Importance of Real Things, and it talks about media in general, right? About how algorithms and all of that change media to be something like a single book, a physical book, real book, versus a screen and a constant stream of things, of like media and all that, that stop kind of being real. But he was saying that even in this stream of things, there are real, like it's still real, right? The video that he made, he's a real person. He made this video that people will watch, just watch, right? In the middle of many other things, but that he is a real person. And it was an interesting video. I liked it. And yeah. My comment, I'm going to read it basically. I said, great video, I loved it. I'm not sure if I agree or not. I could actually see people being like, the internet will collapse and we'll lose all our files. Yeah, because he's talking about lose, like when you. People are constantly in the comments saying something like, if the internet goes away or whatever, all of these fake things like will go away, and the only thing remaining will be their books and all that, right? And yeah, I was like, I could see people being like, the internet will collapse and we'll lose all our files, being wrong, because he talks about in this video that his mom, for example, kept so many books because they reminded his mom of her dad, basically his grandpa. So they kept the books, but the mom and the grandpa had a lot of letters, like they wrote letters to each other or whatever, and those letters are lost. So yeah, I was saying your mom threw away the letters. Maybe. Okay, and I was going to say maybe as a WhatsApp text. Maybe as a WhatsApp text, it would have been easier to back them up. We don't see WhatsApp texts as special yet for us to care. I still back up screenshot folders, WhatsApp media folders, WhatsApp conversations, Facebook and IG data, etc. every once in a while because I know I will care about them one day, right? So basically what I'm saying is that what makes something real or whatever is not how you it's not intrinsically tied to what the medium is, right? So, for example, you can binge watch movies and not care about movies, or you can watch movies and have them impact your life. You can binge watch videos, etc., right? There is a degree to which there is some relationship, right? Maybe it's easier for a book, if you read it from cover to cover, to change your life, for example, because they are that much longer, right? Also, maybe due to how they are, because, for example, it's also not the same watching a movie watching a TV show versus reading a book, those kind of things, right? But yeah, basically, the point that I was trying to make was that it's not just about the thing, it's about how you view it, right? If I view YouTube videos as possibly life-changing, etc., etc., they can actually change me, right? If you just consume them, or have them like playing in the background or whatever, they won't change anything, right? It's or with the texts. If you view WhatsApp conversations as the mundane and don't cherish them or whatever, they will just be the mundane until they stop being that, right? Same with letters with your grandpa. If the way you communicate with your parent, with your father, is through letters, it's just communicating with your father, right? Until one day they are memories or something, right? I don't know. And then what I really liked about this video, it's what I say here. I think you hit the nail in the head with there are real people behind it. I'm real. You're reading this on a screen, and yeah, you don't know me or whatever, but I'm real. This comment is real. I also archive my comments because I know they are very real, by the way. And I know no one gives a fuck at the moment, but I know we will realize that it had been real all along when the next thing rolls along, right? Her mom really realizes that the letters were something really real or something that she would have kept if not for moving, or like one of those things that when you're moving houses, it gets lost, right? The YouTube comments, in a way, are way easier to keep, and in another way, they are also much more unreliable to keep, right? If you lose the password to your Google account, if I lost the password to my Google account, I would be fucked, right? I would have lost so many comments. Actually, not because I have archived them, right? That's the point of archiving. But if someone random loses their password of the Google account, they lose that thing forever. And because it's real, someone has to keep it. And back to the internet will collapse. Maybe our economic circumstance will collapse. I'm from Europe, so our houses are all small already. Plus, I've been renting all my life. Maybe people in the States too notice how their cash gets them way less space, so the physical things they have can no longer go in their basement or in their parents' basement. And then you realize how physical things are harder to maintain, and you'd rather maintain something digital, and that it's possible to do so, right? Many people are like, oh, it's are like opposed to maintaining things digitally, right? They don't consider it as something that can be done. Like when Apple syncs your pictures to the cloud automatically, and I think it deletes them from the device too, and then it hits the limit and makes you pay money. It's like that the reaction that thing causes is not something like thinking, oh, so storing data is actually like storing is actually costs money, right? It's not free, right? That's kind of the reaction that you get. But I think once you get over that, right? Once you realize, oh, it's not free, what can I do about it, right? Once that thought hits, It's like they tell you that you can download your things, right? It's not as straightforward as it could be to back up your pictures from an iPhone to some other thing. But it's not impossible, right? And it's not super hard either. It's pretty intuitive. So it's like, compared to what came before, aka physical pictures, you can still take a lot of pictures and you can still keep them and you can still have them in the future. But at a much lower cost than what a real album of pictures would cost, right? I don't know. You have to think about it also. Rather than losing everything in the internet, I'd rather think that the internet one day will become so powerful and big that they will think of this current internet as the old internet, like back then comments and videos and pictures. Yeah, maybe something like the AI thing, right? That now the internet is big and all that, but it's kind of dumb, right? And in the future, maybe the new internet will be like, oh, the old internet was so dumb, right? It was so hard to find the things that you were actually looking for. And in the new internet, that changes. The new internet, it's like, it literally, you can just tell it and it will do it. Like, yeah, you will be like, oof, find the picture from when I graduated. And it will ask you, oh, you mean high school? You mean college? You mean the first school you went to? These are all your graduation pictures, right? Meanwhile, now, for example, I have to navigate through files that are like phone pictures or like that don't even have a date. That the folder of pictures just says old because that's what I named it back then. Something like that, right? I could see that. Then I say there is a tension between saving things, piracy, open source, etc., and streaming services, being locked out to DRM, etc. Right? There is this tension between the person who knows how to manage the things, but sometimes managing things that you like, for example, infringes copyright. Right? If I want a movie, I can have it, and no one can and no one can stop me. Right? It's like it's so easy to download a video to my computer, right? And that video can be a movie. It's so easy. I literally have many hundreds of, I have terabytes. Well, not sure if terabytes, but gigabytes of movies, hundreds of gigabytes of movies in my hard drives. Some governments stop you from doing it and have like fines and all that shit, but you just download the VPN and you're clear, right? It's like so easy. But so there is this tension, right? If Amazon lets you stream some movies or whatever, maybe you're like, okay, I paid $10 a month and I forget about streaming all these things, right? But yeah, I think that it's important to tell the difference between what you are using, right? Knowing what you are paying Amazon for. It's like you are paying Amazon for it to let you stream it while you pay, and they have the right to do whatever the fuck they want, right? It's like even if you pay, they can take it away, right? They can take it away from you. So if you really like something, it's like you have to think of what to do to acquire it. And yeah, what does it mean to own your data and all of this, right? It's like I was talking about, this is own your data is, for example, with your images. If you upload things to Instagram, like stories and all that, Instagram has an archive of that, and you can download it. And sometimes also it's useful to know things about videos and all that, right? It's like videos that were playable in small phones back in the day, like those 3GP video files, can you still play them now? I think so. But it's useful to think about that and how it's evolving, right? For example, JPEG pictures, PNG pictures, all this, I think they're staying, but maybe it will get phased out. So maybe it's useful also to keep an old computer around that can do those things, right? File systems, compatibility between file systems, all that. Backing up in the cloud, but using computing that you control more, right? Like using virtual private servers, things like this, right? I don't do anything like that, but knowing that the options are there, right? Oh, imagine like today we have sold from like mystery boxes, like a garage or something. Later there is going to be a mystery email data or random closed storage no one used. Oh, like the auction sites, right? That people go to the auction things and are like, I used to like those shows, right? They go to these storage boxes and look around, and yeah, maybe you buy hard drives, right? And they could have a virus, or maybe they could have 100,000 in Bitcoin, right? in an encrypted account or something that it's or something like that, right? That you can maybe figure out the password, because the password is just stored in a TXT file in the desktop. But it would be funny. And the new TV shows, instead of TV show in this kind of American channel, right? Like the History Channel, instead of something like that, it's a YouTube channel from some random fucking dude, and instead of a television show, it's a YouTube video. But it's the same concept. It would be funny. That would be funny. And yeah, then I ended the comment saying, with digital hoarding is interesting. I may be a bit of a hoarder, but I'm on a continuous process of little by little archiving more than hoarding. Yes, that would be fun. And that was my comment here. And I was thinking of this morning, not because of mainly this, there are real people behind it, right? I was thinking of this because this is a whole tangent. Maybe I could make a video about it. I will make a video about it. I don't know. I still haven't published a lot of videos, so maybe I will publish like 5 or 10 videos. Five not, but maybe I will publish like 5 videos. Okay, fuck that. Record only 2, but I have 2 left to publish. You know the ones I recorded the other day with the Argentinian guy. Okay. Then hashtag real things comment. Okay, own your data. Let's write it here. Real things. These are the things I want to touch on. I want to touch on people owning their data. I want to touch on the data being real, right? Real things, slop. And how you view it. Yeah, and then like the obligatory, not for everyone, etc. Right? Not everyone wants to keep their thing, right? There are some people who are like minimalists. and don't like having a lot of information, right? So I guess there are probably some people who barely take any pictures and who delete them and who don't care, right? Who don't care for memories. The memories that are really important, you remember, right? And they trust that and accept that, right? Maybe they don't even trust that they will remember everything, but they simply accept that maybe they may forget, right? Everyone forgets. We all forget. It's part of life. Maybe there are people who are like Zen, like that. I personally, I'm not that Zen, right? I obviously know that that is true, but if I can do things about it and I can complement my memory because I know I forget, I will do it, right? I write, I will back up pictures, I will take pictures, all of this, right? I make videos, I will make vlogs about my unemployment, those things. Maybe when AI comes around, I will be able to throw folders of my projects and AI will craft them for me. Okay, this is the touch points on the video that I'm going to make after. This is kind of the more secondary video. But the main video that I wanted to make was the title that says talking about my worries. These are the things that I was worried about. So fuck it, I'm going to talk it. I'm going to call it things. No, I don't know. I don't know what was preliminary title. Thing I was worried about. The interview that I may have next week and the job, right? Interview next week, job. And I'm feeling kind of bad about it, right? Feeling bad about it. So, I don't know, I was feeling nervous, kind of anxious, and uneasy, feeling uneasy, right? Nervous, anxious, uneasy about it. Aware of red flags. See, yeah, that kind of. I'm aware of kind of things I don't like about the company I'm going to be in. So that kind of influences how I view things and whether I will want to actually accept it, right? It's like maybe I've been worrying about whether I am going to be accepted by them, but I am not thinking too deeply about whether I want to accept them, right? So I was reminding myself the reasons why I would want to accept, even though there are red flags, right? And keeping that always as the forefront of my mind, right? So, remind myself of the things that I wanted to have in mind. And what are those things, right? What things do I want to have to keep in mind? Curiosity, right? I am curious about what happens there, right? Because there are many fake things that I don't care about, right? For example, they talk about career development or whatever. They may talk about that. I don't care about it, right? I don't care about career development in that sense. I know that the reason why I'm getting this job is not career. It's not career development in a strict sense, right? I don't want to climb their ranks. That is what I mean with career development. Okay, so things I don't care about. Things I don't care about. Career development. Climbing their ranks. I also wanted to keep in mind real things, right? Real things. So team or whatever, team things, even though teamwork or whatever the fuck is kind of a cliche thing. Oh, obviously, I don't care about the actual position where it is, right? Corporate, glorified, corporate bullshit, because the interview already was about talking about corporate bullshit, which is shit I don't give a fuck, like, honestly, right? And the skills, right? One part of the skills. One part of the skill set. The position is something like customer, it's kind of glorified customer service, right? Glorified customer service, basically, for corporate, which is basically something I don't give a fuck, right? I don't really give a fuck about that. But things that I do care about, right? Things that I want to keep in mind curiosity as a value, right? And what am I curious about? If I'm not curious about some part of the skill set, aka what the thing is, what am I curious about? And I don't know. It's kind of about the world in general, right? I am a bit curious about the corporate world in general, how it works, team, and then one thing I'm curious about also is real, right? Real. It is real in a sense, right? Everything is real, but as the video says, it's like you can find reality in everything, right? You can find reality in everything. In the same way you can find art, you can find inspiration, blah, 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 everywhere. Same with this case, right? It's about how you view it. So I am curious about how will I view it and all that. I am curious about it. And that is something I want to find out. Changing new environment, see what happens there, right? Team. Even though the team thing sounds a bit bullshit, I do want kind of network, not network, right? I know probably I won't, but yeah, how do I desenvolverse? How do I say that in Spanish? In English, sorry. Desenvolverse in English. Unwrap, unwind, perform. Yeah, how do I perform? How do I perform in these kinds of environments? And yeah, for example, a friend of mine has stories, right? Stories to tell. I feel like I am running of stories to tell, right? So at least an outward source it's an interesting way. It's an interesting corporate bullshit is an interesting topic for stories, I guess. So okay, I was being reminded. Okay, I think I'm going to order it like this, right? And the universe, these degrees of connection. I wanted to relate it to this tweet because she talks about. But this is another different context, right? Interactions listed in order of increasing power level. This is inside a Twitter context, right? Conversation on the TL, like talking in Twitter, is level 1. DMing, right? Having a private conversation is level 2. Video calling someone is like level 3. And being in person, meeting actually in person, is like level 4 in Twitter, what you could say. And I don't think that translates equally into work, but I do feel like there's a certain. I don't feel like these are hardcore rules, but like these are levels within a particular context. But there is a truth to it, right? So I want to level up the interaction level. Level up interaction level. I don't know. Do you follow? Do you follow the structure of the video? I don't know what to title the video. Something like reminding myself. Interview next week. Next week. Reminder of what I care about. Something like that. Okay, I figured it out. I did follow partway, but to the end, and I did try to work a bit, but it's not going well. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm going to do the whole thing again. So, and I already have a title, so I'm going to roll with that. What is a good background? Job interview Google Images. Crear redirección de imagen. You know, I'll call it a pseudo HTML line. It's just placeholder stuff and you can find shit. Wait, what do you mean? The work thing you're doing? I don't know what you mean by that pseudo HTML line. Okay. Yeah, my work thing, it's all just PHP and stuff. I don't know a lot of PHP, I'm not going to lie. I don't know anything about PHP actually. Does PHP literally mean pseudo HTML? PHP. Hypertext preprocessor. Ah, okay, it doesn't. Ah, but it does look like pseudo HTML or something. Hmm. That's pretty crazy, to be honest. It gives me bad vibes. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. It's interesting. I would like to see like what actually happens with that. I would assume. What is that PHP? Like what happens when you press F12? What actually is a PHP site? Yeah, all of these things. What are all of these things? Script, source, PHP, blah, 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 search.js. How do those scripts happen? That's my question. Okay, let's go back to my video. So it's all just building blocks for the machine to put the site together itself, but you can find nothing if you only search for the HTML lines. Interesting. Okay, back to the video. I have the video here. You're seeing right. Oh, I was looking at the PHP site. You have just been looking at this, I guess. But oh well, doesn't matter. I have an interview next week, so this is a video reminding myself of what I care about. I'm making this video because I was worried about something, about me having next week an interview for a job, and I was feeling really bad about it. I was feeling kind of nervous, anxious, uneasy about it, and aware of kind of some red flags that I've seen in the interview process and all this, right? So I was like, should I even accept this fucking thing, right? If I'm already feeling bad about it, why am I even considering doing these things, right? Why am I even getting anxious and uneasy about this if I could just forget about it and just reject them outright, right? Why am I even considering it? And I have a lot of things that I don't care about, right? Like explicitly, I don't care about career development in that context, right? I don't want to climb their ranks. I am open to it being a positive experience in a career sense, right? I don't think it will necessarily be bad, but I know that it's not like when people like it's not me joining a web development company if I want to be a web developer, right? People tell you, yeah, you can join just whatever, and then you will grow in position because people will value that you have that experience or whatever, right? It's not the case. I don't think anyone in the future will value this less than a year of experience doing this thing ever, right? I also don't really like corporate bullshit. That is one of the red flags that was super clear to me in the interview, right? The interview was full of corporate bullshit. The company itself is kind of trash, and the way she talked was completely not my vibe, right? So I was like, another thing that I don't seem to like a lot. Plus, thinking, oh fuck, it's a corporation, so if what did I say? So if yeah, so even just stupid things like dress code, it's like, why am I even thinking, right? Why am I even thinking about the fact that I may have to fucking dress up the part to be like that should even be a thing, right? I am too remote async culture pilled to be thinking about dress code, right? Like that shouldn't even be a concern of mine. Yet I am thinking about it. Fuck no, right? That is the exact thing from which I am trying to run away, right? That kind of bullshit that is exactly the opposite of what I want. Then also, related to career development, right? I don't think I am going to learn anything useful there, right? The position is kind of glorified customer service for a corporate, right? It's like I don't want to learn customer service, right? That is stupid as fuck. It's not. I don't think it requires any particular skill or anything like that, right? It's a position where the trajectory for learning, right? This claiming the ranks. I don't want to claim the ranks inside their company, right? That was what I was referring to there. But it's also that I don't want to climb the skill ladder of this thing, right? I don't want to climb their XP points or whatever. I don't want to climb XPs in their clan, particularly gaming terms, right? I don't want to climb to gain XP inside their clan, inside their guild or whatever. And I also don't want to fucking put hours into this fucking skill tree, right? It's something that is probably useless as fuck, just based on the words that she used. She used the words Office Suite, like PowerPoint. She used the word PowerPoint and she used the word Power BI. Is there anything that's probably more useless inside the world than Power BI? I have trouble thinking about it. Yeah, so in this context, I really as you can see, there are a lot of things against it, right? So I had to remind myself of the things that I wanted to have in mind, to of the positives, of the actual things that I wanted, of the actual things that I care about, right? And why I even considered the thing in the first place, right? And the first thing is that is curiosity, right? I do feel curious about the corporate world in general, about how it works, and about the economic machine of the world and all of this. And fuck it. If no one wants to hire me actively or whatever the fuck, I'll take this, right? I'll take this for 8 months until I get either so overwhelmed by it and I want to reject it so bad. Hopefully not, right? Hopefully I just endure it and it helps me to figure out what I want, right? In a more concrete way. And also because of reality. I watched this video recently called The Importance of Real Things, and I left a long comment. It's not super related, but it's kind of related in vibes. But basically, my point with this comment that I was trying to make, and I think the point of the video also, is that there is reality in everything, right? You can find reality in everything, and I feel like I can find something real there. I can be curious about that. It's a matter of outlook, and it's not a matter of just the intrinsic thing, right? So even in a corporate world or whatever, Venkatesh Rao was able to make this Gervais Principle series. This is the Gervais Principle, right? He talks about the office, but he probably also has some experience with corporate enough to have written all of these fucking 6-part series on office dynamics, right? I think it's insightful to know this, and I do want to experience the reality of it, and tying it back a bit into the reality factor. I have this kind of tweet from Universe, that this tweet is made in context of like interacting on Twitter, right? So in Twitter, interactions are like conversation on the TL, talking on DMs, video calling, and then meeting in person, right? In rising not status, in rising power level, right? And I feel like I am very low power level in this sense, right? So I do want to, as I worded it here, to see how do I perform in this kind of team environments, right? I I want stories to tell related to the Venkatesh Rao thing. Right? I want to see what happens around those kind of environments, to see what kind of what arises there, and to level up my interaction level, right? I don't think that working in physical and all that is exactly parallel to this, right? I don't think, for example, video calling is necessarily that much better in a work setting particularly, right? Maybe in her mutual connecting with humans in this, I don't know, in a really emotional way or whatever, it probably hits different, right? I don't think that the differences are stark in a corporate environment, particularly one that is bullshitty, like I said. But I do think that there is something there that I would want to know, right? So I wanted to make this video as a reminder of all these things, right? And these are all the things that I have to say. I want to find some kind of video talking about employment or something. Maybe I should make a list called employment or something. And I've made a ton of videos, so if you want to watch something next, you have plenty to choose from. But I wanted to highlight this one, white consult and nothing and re-white pilling myself on the information economy. I think this is a similar video of me trying to convince myself of something through talking it out on a video. In that case, it's related to the information economy, so maybe the opposite path of what I'm doing now. But I think that one probably talks about truthfulness versus corporate bullshit, and the one that I have made now talks more about social dynamics and learning in the real world versus truthfulness, right? So that one probably, I don't know, I don't remember it, but it's probably more in that vein. I don't know. Watch it and tell me what you think about it. Goodbye. Okay. I think, do you know, have you ever seen this? Like someone on YouTube or something like that saying something like, whenever I'm about to hit the publish button on YouTube, I get this kind of anxiousness or something, right? It's usually from big YouTubers or something. I wonder if I would be the same, right? If when I grow and I get big, I will also feel that kind of sense versus me kind of getting a job, right? For me, I think that this kind of interview process and all that is much more than, I don't know, pressing upload because I'm so fucking used to uploading videos and all that. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to record the next thing, the real things comment. Who the fuck is this? Okay, one of my Swifty Steam friends, I guess. Okay, what did I want to record next? YouTube comment. Fuck it, I'm going to call this video response to blah blah blah. Let's bring back video responses. Video response to The Immortal of Real Things by Ted Kutina. I wrote this comment, so it kind of, my comment is already a response to it, but I wanted to make a video response because fuck it, let's bring back video responses. YouTube bring video responses back. They used to be fucking cool as hell 10 years ago or whenever the fuck they existed. So yeah, basically something I really liked about that video was that I think he hit the nail on the head with when he was talking about something like there are real people behind it being social media, making YouTube videos and all that, right? There are actual people who are making those things and who want to communicate something, right? It's not all just mindless slop that people throw in there just because, right? I consider myself also someone real who also makes videos like this, makes video responses like this because I am a real person who exists and who thinks and all those things, right? And in the comment, I said that I am a real person who is writing a real comment and who is also real, basically. And yeah, that is one thing, one message from the video that I really liked and that I really resonated with. Some things that I resonated, I'm not sure if I agree or not, right? Because the tone of the video and especially more the video itself, more of like the comment section, is very related to this kind of the internet will collapse and we will lose our files and all of these things, right? And I agree that is something that can happen, right? You can lose power, many things can happen, right? There can be a solar flare that destroys all electronics. But I'm not as sure, I'm not as certain as some people seem to be of that. And I also think that there are some kind of converse danger, right? Yeah, the reverse danger, basically, of everything physical going away and you just having to keep digital shit, right? And I tie it in the comment, I tie it to something that his mom said in the video. He mentioned something like, yeah, we keep all of these books. The theme of the video is real things, and one of the real things that he uses as examples are real physical books, right? So he keeps all of these books, some of them, because they come from her family, from her grandpa, right? From his grandpa, sorry. And his mom has his mom's father, aka his grandpa, wrote letters to the mom and the mom didn't keep them, right? So in the same way that if you can not keep physical things, aka the physical things can go away, the letters can go away. Same thing happens with digital files if you don't take care of them, right? So I guess my thing that I wanted to mention, right, the theme of my response, like the second theme of my response, besides agreement with the message of the reality of things and people online and all that, is that taking care of data and all that is something that people should keep in mind, right? He puts as an example some place where like iCloud runs out of storage, right? And when you get hit with this kind of, you have to pay money, right? And I think that obviously that is kind of an aggressive message, right? An aggressive sales tactic. But it is also facing the reality of the fact that in the same way that books take physical space, real estate, square meters that are really valuable nowadays, right? Digital space takes also some kind of real estate, which is much less valuable, but it still exists, right? It takes silicon processes and all those kind of type of shit. So yeah, the fact that you have to face those consequences is understandable, right? In a sense, right? If you have a lot of files, you should take that into account, right? And if you think of the amount of text that you can hold in megabytes versus books, for example, how much they take and how much money you can spend on books versus on digital shit, especially if you pirate things, it's super different, right? Like real data, real physical data takes up so much more space, obviously, right? And you start to appreciate it. And also pictures, right? Picture books. Imagine all of the pictures that you have taken in picture book form. That also takes a lot of real estate. In digital, you can afford to keep them for a much lower cost. The problem is when they use those aggressive sales tactics, right? So the idea is that once you get hit with those sales tactics, to think, okay, what pictures do I want to keep? How do I want to keep them? How can I ensure that they will stay readable in the future? How do I take care of my device? What devices should I keep in my lineup of devices in order to ensure that I will be able to access these files in the future, right? There are decisions and there are things that you have to take into account, and there are unknowables, obviously, right? But there are precautions that you can take for this, right? And I think it's an interesting thing. And I talk about it in my comment a lot about how I archive a lot of things. I back up screenshot folders, WhatsApp media folders, WhatsApp conversations, Facebook posts, and Facebook and Instagram data, not only pictures, but also direct messages and all that, because all of those are things that are interesting, right? That I personally find interesting, and that we see as mundane, but as he says, there are real people behind it. Not books aren't real just because they are real, right? That just because they are physical, right? Books are real because of the messages that they have inside, and just because we see texts, WhatsApp texts, etc., as mundane, it doesn't mean that they are real, right? I back up my WhatsApp messages because of that, because I know that I have had some very interesting conversations on WhatsApp, that even Instagram DMs and Instagram audios, that all of audio voice messages, all of those little things are, I guess, part of my history or whatever, and I care about my history in particular. Right? I don't think that should be something everyone cares about. Some people are more of people that live in the present and that don't want all that clutter in their life, and that even clutter kind of holds them back. But I am not of those people. I think I am the type of person who really appreciates history and all of the personal history, these little things, these kind of mundane type elements. I think that more people will view them as valuable as well, right? That there will be people who view them as valuable. And yeah, I don't know. I wrote the word hoarding here, but yeah, and in the comment as well, I think that I am a bit of a hoarder in that sense. But I'm on a continuous process to kind of change the low status virgin holder to the high status Chad archiver, right? I think that a little bit of effort can turn something that is messy and that you don't want to view yourself into something that you are much more connected to. For example, in my case, something as easy as using the default Windows Pictures application that sorts by date and that lets you browse like that. That is a huge step up in quality, right? So I trust that the future will bring more technology like this, right? AI, Google Photos, for example. Also, if you type something, cat, it will show you pictures of cats that you have taken, right? That is huge to me. And I see people talking about those things, those positive things related to technology as well in the future, right? So those increments, those technological increments, can take hoarding to archiving, right? And that was kind of the message that I wanted to communicate today. What do you want to say here? Outro. Video response. This is a video response. Do I have another video response? Okay, as that was everything that I had to say, now I'm going to leave you something to watch if you liked this thing. Hope you enjoyed this reflection, this video response. And if you like more video responses, I have a video responses playlist. This is the oldest video response on my channel, which was to Visa's video called Articulating a Vision 2, talking specifically about social graphs. If you like social graphs and all that thing, I think this video is interesting. Then a video about economy and money and all that. Austin Williams's 8 Costs of Abundance, minimalism, maybe related. I am always kind of a maximalist. So in this case, I was talking about data maximalism, information maximalism, maybe. Maybe this is interesting. Maybe this is interesting to you, this video response. Why we need to leave the modern sexual marketplace by Kidology, a response. This video is about the modern sexual marketplace and dating. If you are curious about my take on that, you feel free to watch that. And this other video is called Breaking the Parasocial, Alice Christiansen, which is a video kind of fake conversating with Alice. It's basically a video response, but where we're using the camera, it maybe looks like a conversation, basically. Not really, but it's a video response in a bit of a different format. And yeah, so feel free to watch any of those videos that if you find them interesting, and goodbye. Okay, second video done. I think I'm going to end stream for today. Sorry to the second viewer who just joined. If you want to say hi before I say bye, feel free to that as well. And if not, I will just leave it off for today. Meanwhile, I'm going to go start uploading these videos. I'm going to upload 4 videos today. Well, publish, upload more. Upload 2, I guess. OBS. Ten minutes and 8 minutes. Boom. Okay, I'm going to do something like was it Serene Williams? No, Serene Desiree. Serene Desiree. Then Visa's video. Okay. I'm doing this because I think it mentions them. Like if they see their notifications, they will see this. But also Visa camp. Wait, shouldn't there be another one? Okay. Yeah, that's it, basically. The other person left, so this is it. Thank you for being here, Hanio. And to the other person, nothing. No, thank you. Not even thank you for clicking. Nothing to you. Just kidding. Thank you for clicking, and sorry it didn't hook you in with my riveting content. But oh well.